Welcome to an educational experience concerning A-star pathfinding. Now you may be wondering, what is A-star pathfinding? A-star pathfinding is an algorithm for getting from one place to the next. That's great and all, but it's meaningless without context. So here's some context. This is Todd. He's a tortoise, not a turtle. And Todd wants to steal this wallet. On most days, this would be a quick and easy in-and-out job. But today, there's a tree in the way. Now, this would stump most wallet-thieving tortoises, but not Todd. Todd knows his A-star pathfinding. The first thing Todd does is divide the search area into units so it's easier to do calculations on. Boom. On this particularly unfortunate day, there's also small children and fruit in the way, neither of which Todd has a habit of interacting with. He'll have to go around all three of these obstacles. The next step is to create two lists, an open list and a closed list. Simple enough. Next, Todd adds his current position to the closed list. Then, Todd adds the adjacent squares to the open list. Since Todd is incapable of moving diagonally, he doesn't add diagonally adjacent squares. Todd now calculates the G, H, and F scores of all the squares in the open list. Wait, what do these scores even mean, and how are they calculated? The G score is the shortest distance Todd has to walk to get to a certain square. In order to calculate the G score of a given square, we just add 1 to the score of the previous square. If the G score of a square is ever recalculated and found to be lower, we'll take the lower score. The H score is the approximate distance from this square to the wallet. The H score doesn't care about obstacles since we're just approximating the distance to the wallet as quickly as possible. Todd doesn't have all day. We can find the H score by just adding the horizontal and vertical distances from the wallet to the square. Unlike the G score, the H score doesn't change. The F score is the hardest one, and it's the sum of the G score and the H score. For example, if the G score is 2 and the H score is 3, the F score is 5, since 2 plus 3 equals 5. Please do, try to keep up. Welcome back. As you can see, Todd has gone ahead and calculated the scores for us. Thanks, Todd. Feel free to pause the video if you want to double check these scores, or don't. Now, we'll pick the square with the lowest F score and add it to the closed list. Let's call it square A. The closed list is essentially the work-in-progress path towards the wallet. You could think of it as Todd moving to square A, but since the closed list could run into a dead end, we won't do that yet. Besides, Todd has commitment issues. Now, we'll add squares that are adjacent to square A to the open list and calculate their scores. If an adjacent square was already in the open list, we'll just calculate its scores again. Then, we pick the square in the open list with the lowest F score and add it to the closed list. We'll call it square A. Having a bit of deja vu? By the way, if there's 2 or more squares that have tied for the lowest F score, we can just pick the one that was added most recently to the open list. Let's add the squares adjacent to square A to the open list and calculate their scores. Oh my, every single square in the open list has the same F score. Who could have ever seen this coming? Not Todd. No worries, we can just pick the most recently added one. We could also randomly pick one, but it just might make us go through more cycles to get to our destination. Once again, let's call this newly closed square, square A. Let's add the squares that are adjacent to square A to the open list and calculate their scores. Notice how an adjacent square is already in the open list? No problem. All we have to do is recalculate the G score to see if it gets any lower. Since we calculate the G score by adding 1 to the previous square's G score, that would make this G score 4. And since 4 is greater than 2, we'll discard this new score and keep the old one. Thanks, Purple Arrow. Now, we pick the square in the open list with the lowest F score and add it to the closed list. Once again, there's a several-way tie. For the sake of our sanity, let's just pick this square. Now, neither Todd nor I want to bore you with the details, and since we've already gone through a couple cycles of the algorithm, let's just zoom ahead until we reach the wallet. Great, we made it to the wallet. We know this because the square with the wallet is now in the closed list. Now, all we have to do is use the arrows to backtrack until we get to Todd. There. Now Todd just has to follow the blue square path all the way to the victim's wallet. Todd? Anyway, thanks for watching.